Welcome to TrueBuds TV, Cannabis Enthusiast Series.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to TrueBuds TV, Cannabis Enthusiast Series. It's your buddy Jack, and I'm here with Donna today.
Good morning.
How are we doing?
Oh, I'm wonderful, wonderful.
Excellent. So I was going to start out just, tell me a little bit about yourself and kind of your relation to cannabis.
Well, I'm a multi-versatile person. I'm a photographer in Hollywood. I'm a producer, and I'm a casting agent. And where I really grabbed hold of marijuana was after I survived a stroke on a plane. And my hand totally curled up. And I couldn't open this hand at all. I have what they call complex regional pain syndrome, and it affects my central nervous system. And this hand just wouldn't open up at all. And so the doctors gave me no hope. They kept giving me more medication, which was dumbing me down. And I was like, I can't move around, I can't move, I'm all doped up. And I was like, I can't continue like this. I'm gonna find a natural way of healing. And it just happened, a friend of mine told me about a friend of his who had access to this medication that called Miracle Bomb. And when he heard about me, he was so excited. He was like, he shipped it over, overnighted it to me.
Oh, yeah.
And he lives up north, and I put it on, and immediately, because I have with hypersensitive nerve, I can touch and sound and things are hypersensitive on the side. But when I put it on, I felt like this exhilarating feeling going through my nerves, like healing.
And so that's a cannabis ball.
The cannabis is I know this is my old jar, the only one I have left, but this is Miracle Bomb, and it really worked a miracle. I mean, my hand was totally curled up. Have you seen a stroke survivor? Their hands are curled up where you can't move it. I can do this again. I can pray again.
It's amazing, really.
Yes, it is. And man, another thing was that they gave me, because I was in so much pain, my neurologist they gave me steroids. They were trying to figure out. And one day I wouldn't take them for about 90 days, and then I was in so much pain, I decided I'm gonna try it. And I tried it, and I was sick for 3 days. I thought I was literally going to die. I had never felt like that. Even after having the stroke, I had never felt that. But after taking that medication, and I was like, no more. And I went to the neurologist, and I said, I don't care if you deny me my disability, because that's what they told me. If you don't take this medication, you won't be able to get your disability. Yeah, because you're not sick enough. Yeah. So I told him, I said, you know what, I won't be able to have the disability if I keep taking this medication. I'll be in the ground. And you know what he told me? And I'm not going to mention his name, but he was the kindest doctor. He said, you know what, we are experimenting. We don't really have the answers. I was like, wow.
But you have to do this now.
But no, but he relented. And he said, you know what I suggest? I suggest that you go see one of the cannabis doctors. And I was like, wow, this is coming from a neurologist. So I said, well, that's what I'm going to do. So I didn't know where to go at the time, because I wasn't on the medical list for marijuana. So what I did was I just found a place near my home, and I can't remember the name of their company now that had set up in Gardena, but whatever it was, it felt like it was medicinal. It really felt like I'm going there for healing. And it just happened, the doctor that I picked, and this is when the universe is working for you, the doctor had been a stroke survivor. So he knew exactly what to give me. He said, you know what, if you smoke marijuana, you're not gonna get the relief you're gonna need for this hand. He said, but if you use the vape, the serum goes immediately, as Bernie Mac would say, immediately. And he did, and I tried it. I got a vape pen, and I use it. I'm a photographer in Hollywood. So a lot of times if I get in certain positions, this hand aches really bad, and I'm trying to hold the camera. So what I can do is go off into a little corner in the dark, vape, there's no smell, no odor, anything, poof, and I can get back and photograph. And I'm getting ready to do the Oscars. I've been able to move through this, and it hasn't been an easy move, but I'm gonna tell you, the cannabis has been my lifesaver. I just wish my father had been open enough to try something that was naturally grew out the ground something God, I used to tell him, I told him, I'll never forget telling him, when he denied me taking him to UCLA to start this was back in the 90s, the research was still new. And I said, Dad, what do you have to lose? But you're losing your sight. You have nothing to lose now. And he just kept saying, but no, I can't do this. It's against my religious practice. I said, but God put it here on this earth. He put everything here for a purpose. We have to find out what that purpose and use it wisely. And he would never listen to me, but I listened when my time came. I listened, and I'm so glad. And I tell people, everybody it affects, everything affects everybody, everything in moderation. But be open to new possibilities. Because it worked for me.
That's beautiful you say that, and that's part of the reason I'm doing this series here is to, open people up, like, because it's really, had a great impact on your life.
Yeah, it really, I mean, it made the difference between pain and no pain. And when you live with chronic, constant pain, those times when you get relief, it's like,
So you vape mostly and use the cream as well?
Yes, well, you know what, I've saved this amount. A friend of mine was shipping them to me for over 3 years for free. And I would help other people who were having pain. But I don't know what happened to our supplier. It dried up, and I refused to use up this last amount.
Savor that last
I don't know. I keep it for special, just to remind me of what it could do for this little cream. Something all straight out the ground that was reprocessed in a natural way can do for our body. And we don't have to use all those prescribed drugs that are killing so many people.
That's the truth.
And this was just simple. Put it on and my hand opens again.
That's amazing.
And you know how important your hand is? Try not having one.
I did for 5 weeks, or maybe a little longer. I did break my hand, but it's tough.
It
was
is.
Nothing like you had.
Yeah.
A broken hand, and I was just like, it put so much stuff in perspective.
It really does.
Can't work. I was serving bartending at the time, and I couldn't work for that time. You couldn't, like you said, for photography. Thank God you're able to alleviate some of that pain you have, so you can keep.
You know what I did, Emily? I know this is a little off kilter, but when I was photographing, when I had got my balance back well enough I couldn't do red carpets, but I could go sit down and photograph because I was still weak. So what I did was I went in comedy stores to practice because I only had one hand now. And I sat in comedy stores because laughter is healing. And laughter, for a whole year, I just practiced maybe 2 or 3 times a week and practice. Now I photograph for some of all the comedians in LA, and I got to meet Dick Gregory, and I was paid to do Ronaldo Ray, who was a comedian, to do his funeral. So the universe paid me back after that year. I spent a year just in rehab, just going to comedy clubs.
Well, you paid your dues that year, and that's awesome too. That you just kept staying at it. Could have been easy to be like, oh shit, I'm done, but you just kept trucking.
Well, you can't until God takes away your last breath. Then you can go to sleep.
I like that.
Always... But you know what? No matter what, and the thing was, I went blind. I know the cannabis didn't heal that, but I went blind, and they told me I would never see again either. So I believe that there's higher forces working and involved in our lives, and one of the things he uses is natural herbs like marijuana to bring us back to life.
That's the truth. And I know we've kind of touched on it talking so far, about like the medicinal properties, but kind of what's something that makes you, in terms of like the future of cannabis and the cannabis industry, what's something that like excites you about it?
Just that we open up new avenues for healing. That's my main thing, for healing. Just new avenues, and the people are becoming more receptive, and we stopped the criminology of it. We criminalized a whole generation of people for something that God put here on the universe. You know what, my father used to tell me that it had no use. And I said, that's like Bill Gates building a computer and putting a key on it and saying, I just put that key on there for the hell of it. It has no use. It didn't make sense to me that there had to be a reason But finding the right reason and using it in the right manner is what's important. Moderation, no matter what you do, there has to be moderation. I'm not in for people who smoke all day and do nothing.
I'm right with you there. Yeah, moderation's the key.
It's moderation and using things, everything in moderation, drinking, eating, whatever it is, sex, you have to use moderation, and that's a real key. But being open to the new possibilities, and technology has helped change so much. I'm so happy for that, because I was able to do a lot of things before I tried it. I could go do research myself and say, do I want to try this? Because I didn't have to walk to the library or go out. I could just do it, because I was, at that time I was really incapacitated, But I was able to access a lot through technology. So.
That's awesome. Thanks again so much for coming out today.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Thank you for what you're doing.
Hey, thank you, seriously.
And Godspeed on your endeavors.
Thank you very much. That means a lot, seriously.
Okay.
And thank you guys for tuning in to TrueBuds TV Cannabis Enthusiast Series.
Check out TrueBudsTV.com for monthly giveaways, products, advertising, and exclusive cannabis content.